Peace. This is Waz for Wazwords Media, back at y'all for another round. And hoop heads, Anthony Edwards has been making the controversial circuits for some comments that he made regarding Michael Jordan's playing era. He went at the 80s and 90s saying that there was no skill level, no skilled players, and Michael Jordan was the only guy that had skill back in the 80s and 90s. That is comical. That's hysterical. So, with that said, I'm just going to give a list. It's a Tuesday, so why not? Let's go for a top 5 Tuesday. I'm going to give Anthony Edwards a history lesson. I'm going to give him 5 players that would have beat Anthony Edwards back in the day and would have gave him a punishment. So let's start with the list. Let's start the list with one of the legends that actually fired back at Anthony Edwards, and that is the greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson. At a towering 6'9" for that position, Magic Johnson was big enough to hold you, Anthony Edwards, and so much so that in the finals, correct me if I'm wrong, this is his rookie year, in the finals, Kareem gets injured and he has to play center. Mind you, this is a point guard. He chose to go out there and play center as a point guard and got the job done and won a championship as a rookie. How many players do you know you can say that about? Not only his height, his basketball IQ was superb. I mean, Magic Johnson was the total package, man. He was one of the greatest players ever. Now, I also want to jump from that, and I'm going to stay with another person that was playing around that same time. That was a nightmare, terrorizing the league. You want to talk about an assassin? We're going to talk about Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins at number 4. And this is in no particular order, not saying like 5 or 1 would be the most challenging or the most skilled. I'm just throwing 5 people off the top of my head that just came to me right now. I'm like, all right, I'm not even thinking too hard, and I got like 5 people already and some honorable mentions, but we'll stick to these 5. So, because these 5 were in Jordan's prime, that's why I'm gonna stick with these 5. So next we got Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins was a terrorist. That dude, I mean, you want to talk about a guy that would roll out of bed and give you 40 easily any given night. The man's name, the man's name is the human highlight reel. The human highlight reel. Think about that. Think about him, how much skill you have to have a name as the human highlight reel. Because he was a highlight after highlight after highlight. Every game had a highlight. This was Vince Carter before Vince Carter. He was a monster on the court. And Anthony Edwards, I'm sorry, but the way you looked in the Western Conference Finals, yo, this dude would have chewed you up for dinner, B. Easily. Dominique would have been no way you could beat Dominique Wilkins. You wouldn't be able to contain him. Your coach would be on the sidelines like this quite often. So that's who I have at number 4. Number 3, let's see. For number 3, I'm gonna go with a man that was known as West Coast Jordan. That's how skilled he was, because they called him West Coast Jordan, because this dude right here was so nice. He was so skilled that they called him the Michael Jordan of the Western Conference, and that is none other than Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler, from his days at Phi Slamma Jamma, with him and Hakeem Olajuwon in Texas in college. From that point on, he was known as a terror. Like, this dude was a monster. I mean, Clyde Drexler was able to jump gracefully, like Michael Jordan from the free throw line. Easily done. Clyde had a jump shot. Clyde was super defensive. Anthony Edwards, I don't think you understand what you said. Because when we talking about skill, we talking about offense and defense. Clyde Drexler was able to hold people down. We learned that even in his later years. When he went to the Houston Rockets were looking like they weren't going to win back-to-back championships. They weren't going to repeat. And to their credit, even though it was a very controversial move, they traded one of their key cogs in Otis Thorpe. They traded him, and that really upset a lot of people on that Houston Rockets team in that locker room. They were really upset. But then Clyde Drexler came, and man, when he reunited with Hakeem Olajuwon, they went on a tear, won another championship. Clyde Drexler was such a smooth player, could jump out the building just like Jordan. I mean, that's why Jordan went extra hard at him in the 92 finals, because Jordan was like, oh, word? This the guy y'all talking about is better than me or on my level? Watch this. So yeah, Mike took it up a notch, as he's known to do, because that's why he is the greatest, or arguably the greatest, because he takes it up another notch when he has to, and not too many people on the planet can do that. So, but yeah, Clyde Drexler was no joke. So that's 3. At number 2, and again, these are just 5 guys that played while Jordan was in his prime. Because I got honorable mentions of people that were before Jordan and after Jordan. It's prime years. But yeah, number 2, we're gonna go with Grant Hill. For those who don't know who Grant Hill was, 1994 Grant Hill, when he entered the league, I mean, Grant Hill set the league on fire. Grant Hill was, I mean, you want to talk about a special all-around talent. Grant Hill he could handle the ball, had nasty dribble, blow by everybody, crossover, wicked, jump shot, mid-range jumper, three-point jumper, finishing with finger rolls at the hoop. I mean, you talking about this dude could dunks? Psh, man, yo, Grant Hill used to posterize people. Grant Hill was a total package. He was so nice that the NBA started kind of marketing him like he was going to be the next Michael Jordan. He was going to be the successor of Jordan. And if it wasn't for them injuries, Grant Hill would be on the top of the list of a lot of like top 10 players. He would be in that top 10 list had he not gotten injured, man. Top 10, top 15. He was amazing. And number one, you want to talk about injuries, right? What injuries prevented? This man right here could have been better than Kobe Bryant, could have been better than LeBron James. And that's talking about none other than Anthony Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway is one of the greatest players that's ever played the game of basketball. Magic Johnson, whom I spoke about a bit earlier, Magic Johnson told his wife in front of Penny Hardaway, he told her, he was like, Cookie, you see this guy right here? You want to know who's the next me? He's me, but better. He was just like Magic Johnson, towering 6'7"-ish. Could defend, could finish at the hoop. Court vision, like, woof. Some of the smoothest, greatest passes you've ever seen in the game come from Penny Hardaway. I mean, eyes all over his head. Boom, boom. Wrap around the neck. All types of crazy passes. Shaquille O'Neal, to this day, laments and regrets the fact that he did not stay in Orlando to at least get one with Penny Hardaway. Because Penny Hardaway was the total package. Dribble, mid-range monster. Oh, when he's driving to the lane, get out the way. Unless you don't mind being in posters. You can ask a few of my favorite players like Patrick Ewing, and he was the total package, man. This is a guy who made it to the NBA Finals in just his second year. As the second guy on the team. Him and Shaq, pretty much. And he made it to the NBA Finals. That's how great he was. And not only did he make it to the finals, on his way to the finals, he beat Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan that Anthony Edwards is saying was the only skilled player. He beat Michael Jordan. And I was there. I witnessed. I was around at that time. I witnessed those games between Jordan and Penny, regular season and postseason. And Penny Hardaway would give Michael Jordan the business. Always. Not saying that Jordan didn't give Penny the business too, because he's Michael Jordan. He gave Penny his too. But Penny was a nightmare, was a headache. He would give the business to Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan respected Penny so much so that a man with Michael Jordan's tremendous pride, one time he couldn't wear Jordans. I think the pair got lost or stolen or something. And he didn't have a pair of sneakers. He wore a pair of Penny Hardaways. He wore the Penny ones. That's how much respect and how great Penny was. Michael Jordan, the GOAT himself, said, yo, I'll rock your sneakers. True talk. Go look it up. The memes are all over the place of Jordan wearing Penny sneakers. That's how highly Michael Jordan thought of Penny Hardaway. So that's just my 5 right there. I mean, the list could go on of players that were around Jordan's time, but they were like either when Jordan was too young. So we're talking about guys like the great Dr. J, Julius Erving, one of the guys that influenced Jordan to play the game. Or we could go when Jordan was a little older playing on the Wizards. You got guys like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and the great Kobe Bryant himself. So what is he talking about? I don't know. He likes controversy, but sometimes that controversy gets him in trouble. And we found that out in the Western Conference Finals when he said he wanted Kyrie Irving. And oh yeah, he got Kyrie. Almost got swept by Kyrie. But yeah, that's all I got, man. 5 guys, real simple. Magic Johnson, Dominique Wilkins, what's the name? Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, Clyde Drexler. That's just 5. Just 5. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Anthony Edwards. Somebody pass him this video. Do the knowledge. Peace.